Tell the people how many of your wins came by stoppage.
All but 2. So that's
33 of
35,
35
33 of 35. Yeah.
by stoppage.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
And the
I do.
last 3 in the first round.
And I don't think this time's going to be any different.
Well, I hope you don't win in too spectacular fashion. I might injure myself celebrating. So it's Monday. You fight on Saturday against
Yeah.
Magomed. What's your headspace like? What's the headspace like just in general on a Monday when you know you're getting in an octagon and about to fight some enormous man in front of the entire world on Saturday?
Oh man, I don't give a fuck about him. I couldn't care any less. As far as just my mindset going into the fight, I'm
Yeah.
just happy that all the work is done. Man, the training camp has been they're just hard. They're hard. This one's specifically been way harder. Um, just because of the type of fight that I expect it's going to be and the type of fight that I'm going to bring.
Yeah.
We just had to add the extra work in, you know what I mean? And that extra work is grimy and gritty and it's tough, it's miserable. Um, but that's kind of my plan. I've been saying it from the beginning, and I don't think it's any secret. I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna light that fucking cage on fire, and I'm not gonna step out of it first. It's just not it's not gonna happen. So
Yeah.
you gotta be prepared for that. You know what I mean? So mentally, like I know what I'm getting myself into, and I know exactly the kind of fight that I'm gonna make it. Um, so it's just kind of one of those, well, I don't know, like those somber feeling, you know what I mean? Like I know how absolutely chaotic and awful Saturday is going to be. So just trying to enjoy every day until then.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I know when I started watching game tape on him, I just looked, I was like, this guy likes to pick his shots. And that's what you guys saw, right? So you're just
Mhm.
like, you're not gonna get to pick your shots, dude.
No, no, we're not going to let him do what he wants to do. That's for sure. He fights in a box. You know, he fights very comfortable. He fights very measured and at a slow, methodical pace.
Mhm.
Um, then that's just I'm not going to let you be comfortable. I'm
Yeah.
not. It's just not going to happen. I'm not going to let you enjoy yourself in there. Um, you know, it's kind of I'll make it awful for myself just so I know it sucks for you.
Yeah. So like in your training camp, you focused a bunch on cardio.
Oh, for sure. For
Yeah.
sure. I'm conditioning wise, I'm in the best shape I've ever been in. And those are things that are actually measurable. You know what I mean? Like we have markers that we can hit and ways we can find out how good of shape I'm in. I've blown all those markers out of the water, and strength wise, I'm as strong as I've ever been. So if he beats me, he absolutely deserves it. That's for sure. Because I'm that good right now.
That's fucking awesome. How much of that do you think has to do with the phase of your career that you're in where like you don't need to really think about developing like you have all the skills. It's a matter of like exactly what you did, it seems like, right?
Yeah, yeah, this has nothing to do with him. He doesn't bring anything to the table that I haven't seen.
Yeah.
He's not a better striker than Rakic or John Jones or Glover Teixeira or you know what I mean, name your awesome striker I fought. He's not a better grappler than any of those guys. You know what I mean? He's not a better wrestler or grappler than Glover. He's just not, he doesn't do anything I haven't seen before.
Yeah.
Um and that's not to take anything away from him. The dude he's super tough. He doesn't have a lot of holes in his game, but I think that's his downfall, to be honest with you. He's pretty good everywhere, but he's not great anywhere. He's not
Yeah.
elite anywhere. Um, so I just need to make him uncomfortable. I need to, and I'll find it. Like, here's how I explain it. He likes to fight in a box, so I need to get him outside of his box, and I'll catch him when he's scrambling to get back to the box. He will panic to get back to his comfort zone, to get back to his box that he likes to fight in, and that's where I'll find the holes.
Yeah.
If we're just standing in front of each other and we're playing his game, they're going to be hard to find because
Yeah.
he doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He's not out of position very much because he's so kind of low output as far as the variables and the variety of stuff that he throws. There's not a lot of openings there. But if you get him outside of his box, I've watched him panic to get back in it. It just
Yeah.
hasn't been fighting anyone who's good enough to take advantage of it.
It's funny that you say that because that was one of the things that I saw. Like when I saw the odds on this fight come out, I was like, they got Anthony at like a 3.5 to 1 underdog. Like this Magomed's never fought anyone that's half as good as you.
Mm-mm. Never,
Like literally, like never.
never.
Yeah.
never. And you know, like again, this isn't about him. This is about me.
Mhm,
I don't give a shit what his plan is. He's gonna be around a long time. The dude's good. He's
mhm,
very good. Um, he's never fought anybody. Like, look, check this. Here's a stat for you. Everyone wants to talk about I got 14 losses or whatever that bullshit is.
not
I've had a complete second career. In my last
mhm,
25 fights, I'm 20-5. Okay.
yep,
So we can talk about the 14 or 15 or whatever, how many losses. I don't even know. I don't even pay attention. But I'm 20-5 in my last 25 fights. Out of those 25 fights, 8 of them have either been the champion, the former champion, or a title contender.
mhm,
And though of those 8 guys, those guys account for 3 of those 5 losses. I've only lost 2 times since like 2013 or 2014 to a guy that wasn't a champion, had never been a champion, or a title contender. And only one loss out of those 5 has been to a non-champion or title contender in the last 7 years.
who is it?
Rakic.
I was gonna say, and Rakic is nasty.
Right. Rakic is the only guy that hasn't fought for a title
Yeah.
and hasn't been a champion that's beaten me in the
Oh,
last
title
7
contender,
years.
you're talking someone who fought for the title.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah, yeah,
he's the only guy that
yeah,
hasn't fought for a title or held the title at some point in
yep,
time in the last like 7 years that's beaten me.
and he's nasty.
And the guy before that was Cesar Ferreira in like 2013 or 2012.
2013.
Like,
It's 100
so
years ago.
we can keep talking all this shit about, you know, everyone, oh, he's 16-1 and blah blah blah. Like over who?
Yeah,
You,
yeah,
you can talk about being 16-1, but your lone loss is to Paul Craig, who I got a lot of respect for. But Paul Craig ain't beating me.
yeah.
That's for goddamn sure. Especially in a jiu-jitsu match.
And if he's not gonna beat you in jiu-jitsu, we saw this weekend, he's not beating you.
It's not beating me. It's just
Yeah,
not.
yeah,
So again, I like Paul Craig. I'm not trying to talk down on him, but let's just talk facts. You know what I mean? Like those are the numbers. So
yeah.
a 3-1 dog, and I've been fighting in the top 5 for however long. Come
Crazy.
on, man. Come
Yeah.
on.
If I didn't think it would jinx you, I'd bet on you in a heartbeat, dude. But
I bet on myself.
I don't bet on my boys though, dude. Like it's bad luck, dude. I bet
Yeah, I
against my
tell all my
boys.
friends,
Yeah,
like, go
I
ahead,
bet
you
all
just
my
go
I bet
get that
against
money.
them just as like an emotional, like 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 soften the hit just in case. But I'm not betting on fucking Rakic. I mean on Magomed.
Oh my, no way.
Yeah, but yeah, dude.
You
Like
see Rakic got cheap shotted by
I
Jimmy
dude, is there a
Manuwa over the
video of it?
weekend? I
Yeah,
haven't seen a video, no. I'll
I
tell you
saw
what
him
though,
talking about it, and I scoured the internet for it, and I couldn't find it.
man, I think that whole I'm just totally off topic, but it's funny to me. Like Rakic kind of deserved it, but it was his video was also very funny afterwards.
So
Like,
tell me the whole story. I haven't watched any of it. All I saw
okay,
that he was yeah.
so someone had tweeted Jimmy Manuwa at some point in time, and Jimmy, it's something about what fight do you want back, or if you could go back and do something again, what would you do, or something like that. And Jimmy was like, "Man, I'd love to have that Rakic fight back." You know what I mean? Didn't say anything negative, just like I'd love to have that Rakic fight back. Rakic quotes it, like a quote tweets it, or quote retweets it, and says, "Hey man, I'm still sitting on that performance bonus I got for knocking you out. If you need some, if you need some cash," which is kind of funny. But then Jimmy Manuel came back and said, "Just make sure you keep that same energy when I see you again, like in person."
Yeah,
And you know that kind of dies down. Well, Jimmy finally sees him in person for the first time and
and he lit him up.
hit him with the old 1-2 skibbity pap in the fucking crowd. And but then what you're like, you know what? Like he warned him, like
Yeah.
when I see you again, you know, whatever. So then Rakic gets on Twitter, posts a video, and the video's pretty funny. Like he calls him Mr. Still Sleep the whole time. Hey, fucking Mr. Still Sleep.
Dude, I
Because
gotta watch
Rakic
that.
did knock him out bad,
Yeah.
like real bad. Like, and at the end, he's like, uh, I'm gonna be in your head the rest of your life. I knocked you out. I retired you. I was like, oh man, that
Oof.
hurts because it's all true.
Yeah.
So the
Nanawa
whole
took a couple
situation's
tough
funny to
ones
me.
on the way out, dude.
He did. He did. He's talked shit to me a couple times, but I like Jimmy, so I can't even really talk bad about him because I like that dude.
I think he's really fun to watch fight, man. When he was like he's like a dude that
When he's conscious, man, that dude's fun as shit to watch fight. It's just,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like everyone's got their expiration date and you just can't take the shots that you used to take. At some point in
Gustafson,
time, we'll all be there. Gus, same way. Like I got a lot of respect for both of those guys.
for
But
sure.
It is what it is. You know what I mean? Luke Rockhold's has ran into the same situation. I think his is defensively probably more of a problem, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like everyone, it's going to happen to most of us.
You know what's funny about that? What I always say about Rockhold is I just always like when I watch him, I'm like, if he had just a little bit more respect for his opponents, he would
Hmm.
be so much harder to beat. Like basically every single one of his knockouts to me has looked like he's like, I'm so much better than you. I don't even need to put my fucking hands up. And then they clip him with a left hook and put him into another dimension.
Well, I think that's always kind of been Rockhold's problem is some of it's his ego.
Mhm.
Um, but technically, the dude's fantastic.
He's
He,
super good.
as far as like his fighting ability, that dude's good.
Yeah.
He's really good. And I've kind of turned over a new leaf. I'm kind of done with this beef with Rockhold, and seems like he's kind of turned a new leaf over in his life. And actually like the things that I hear him saying these days.
Mhm.
Um, seems like a much more down to earth, humble, connected to reality person right now. So, um, I hope he does well. It'd be nice. I mean, honestly, it'd be nice to see Luke Rockhold get a win.
Yeah. That should be a banger of a fight. He's fighting Costa, right?
Dude, if I was Rockhold and I was fighting Costa, man, I would come in at like I don't know 2:30 and just be like, deal with it,
Yeah.
because
Yeah. Yeah.
that's what that motherfucker does.
Yeah. I would also
When he was
like,
talking about coming to 205, that's what I always said. Like, if they want to match me with Costa, cool, but I'm coming in at like 235 or 240 and tell him
yeah.
just fucking suck it up, pussy.
Yeah.
Just deal with it.
Dude, Rockhold should also like his entire camp just like take like a railroad spike and just drill it to the side of his face. It's like,
Man, I think technically on his feet, as long as he can avoid the big shot,
yeah, that's it.
I don't see anywhere Costa wins.
Yeah.
Long as he can stay defensively sound and responsible on his feet, I
Yeah.
don't see anywhere Costa wins this fight.
Yeah.
Especially if Rocco gets a takedown, shit's over.
Yeah.
Like if
Yeah.
there's any amount of time left in the round, that's just where Costa's gonna get finished. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like if Luke has any time to work on the ground, that's done.
What'd you think about what'd you think about the fights this week? Actually, let me dude, so much shit has happened in the last couple of weeks while you've been in camp. Like, what'd you think about the fights this weekend?
I thought they were good. I thought they were good. Um, I'd like to see Patty Pimblett really tested.
Yeah.
Same with Molly McCann. I'd like to see them both tested against uh, some really good opposition. Um, just because of where kind of Patty is in his career, he's being brought up slowly, which is I
Yeah.
think this is the right thing to do. But I think it's time we take a little bit of a jump because he's good, man. He's real good.
Yeah.
Um, same with I don't think either both of them are going to be hard to beat in London, anywhere in the
Yeah.
UK. Um, they're just so popular and they feed off of that shit. So
For sure.
so I feel real bad for Aspinall. You know what I mean? Like if he got beat
Dude.
fair and square, fine. But to not even have a real shot at it, I feel bad for Curtis Blades too because that was a good opportunity
Yep.
to get a
I
good
talked
win
I talked to
over a
Danny.
guy that's got a lot of hype.
Yeah. Yeah, I talked to Danny, your Molina
Mhm.
right afterwards, and he was like, "That's why you got to snap your foot right back under your butt after you throw that kick. Otherwise, it's
Mhm.
like,
Got to tuck it. Yeah.
yeah,
Just that weird step back. You know who
yeah,
does a really good job of that? Cowboy. You ever watch him
yeah,
kick? He always pulls that foot real back right on. That's why he's able to strike off of it so quickly because he lands the kick and just tucks his heel right to his butt and puts his foot straight down on the ground instead of kind of like that hard lunge and lean.
yeah,
Um, so for anyone watching, that's a pretty good example of what we're talking about. But um, yeah, man, I feel bad for Curtis. That's a great opportunity to get a win over a guy with a lot of steam behind him. Um, yeah, that's a tough one. That's a
And
tough
Curtis
one.
keeps getting better too. Like Curtis, like
Mhm.
he lost Ngannou twice, and then Derek Lewis, and that's it, right? That's
Yeah.
the so just like he ate a couple big shots from some absolutely titanic punchers, and aside from that, but he keeps getting better.
Oh, for
You know,
sure. Man, I seen the best breakdown leading into the Derek Lewis fight. It was like Curtis Blades is the more technical striker. He's the better wrestler. He's the better jiu-jitsu guy. He's absolutely has the best cardio. He's an incredible athlete. His fight IQ is really high. With all of that said, Derek Lewis by knockout. I was just like, what the fuck? I was like, God, say what? Come here. You want to say hi to Jesse? Okay, come here. Hold on. Say hi to him.
Hi.
what's up, sweetheart? How are
Hey, get
you?
over here so you can see. Right here. There you go. Say
Hi.
what's up.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
You getting in trouble?
Excellent.
No.
What'd you do?
Mm,
You didn't do anything?
no.
What were you doing up here?
A pony.
Oh, okay. Go get a pony. Let's tame that mane. Take it
That
to your
sounds
mom.
an awful lot like my house.
Yeah. There's ponies everywhere. I can't believe she had to come up here to find one because them sons of bitches is everywhere. I got 15 on my blinker. I got they're
Yeah.
everywhere.
Dude, my kids all got those new like babies that you have to feed. You know, like
Oh yeah.
they all three got them all at once, and like,
Mhm.
dude, Gabby, after 2 days, she's like, I'm gonna throw these things away. She's like, there's food and water everywhere.
Oh
I'm like,
yeah. These kids are goddamn crazy.
yeah. Dude, Patty, though, there was one moment when I saw I think he was trying to lock the body triangle, and I saw so my ankles are incredibly inflexible, like where it's kind of like shocking how not far I can make my foot go, you know?
Yeah.
And I saw him, dude, his ankle, he's flexible is my point. Like incredibly flexible, it looks like.
That's like that's a learned thing though. You know what I mean? That's not a natural thing. So like I'm a back take guy, right? And
Yeah.
so I'll body triangle people or I'll take their back or whatever. And everyone's got that stupid ass little thing where they cross their feet over your feet and they want to ankle lock you from you having their back,
Yep.
which works on some people. But if you get into that, you get in there with like a person that's been grappling for a really long time or a high level black belt or like a full time back taker,
Mhm.
are like all those ligaments and tendons and muscles and stuff in your feet and ankles over time have been stretched and torn and sprained and your body just adapts itself to jiu-jitsu. So like
So the foot lock won't work on you because you can stretch your foot so long?
you couldn't tap me like with that if you wanted to.
Because
It's
it'll just slide right off.
well, because my feet will just
Yeah.
like my ankles and stuff are so flexible from just 15 or 16 years of taking people's back. Like I've injured those ligaments and tendons and muscles so many times that they've just adapted to what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So like, like you body triangle someone and they always say, well, fall to the body lock side. And then like, people extend their hips and it's supposed to like kind of hurt people's ankles to where they'll let go of it. Doesn't even bother me. It hasn't in a decade probably. So like some of that stuff kind of, so your body just adapts to it. Like I couldn't stand, put my feet together and like bend over and touch my toes, but I could like go plot to someone from rubber guard if I had to. Like I'm like jujitsu flexible, but I'm not like real world, Instagram model flexible.
Totally. Dude, it's like, yeah, your body just gets conditioned to whatever you're doing. Like when I was doing a lot, like when I was like actually really serious about like my body, like I was kickboxing, I was lifting like a motherfucker. I was in the best shape of my life. And then I went surfing for the first time and paddling out into the thing, bro. I was like, I've never had my shoulders burn like this. And I'm like, there's no reason that my shoulders should burn like that when there's some little dude who's fucking just burning past me on his second paddle out. It's like, it's just like specific.
Right. You look at like CrossFit athletes.
Mhm.
If we did one jujitsu roll with just a guy who's never done jujitsu that's in CrossFit, he would be exhausted.
Yes.
Exhausted. You would just crush one of those guys. Like even strength wise, like you would just manhandle those dudes because our strength and conditioning is very functional for what we're doing, and theirs is very functional for what they're doing. Like I couldn't do what they do at that level, and they couldn't do what I do at any level. So, it's just it's the body's a crazy thing, man. It just adapts and adjusts to whatever you're doing.
Yep.
Which is why this sport is so goddamn hard.
Sport's the best, dude. You know what? Actually, that brings me back that I was going to say earlier, and I forgot was like about what you were saying about Magomed's skill set in terms of like he's good at everything, he's not great at anything. And I was having this conversation with people where I was like, I think the kind of broad belief now is that what makes an incredible mixed martial artist is a person who's really, really excellent at everything. It doesn't have any holes in their game. I'm like, no, I don't agree with that. And history would say that that's not accurate based on these like these incredible champions. It's like Khabib is exceptional on the ground, and he has figured out a way to get the fight to the ground all the time. Izzy is an exceptional striker, and he's figured out a way to stay out of what his danger zone's on. Like the really exceptional champions are actually exceptional at something, and they figure out a way to protect their game and drive it, almost like funnel it into that part of their game. And the guys who are really well-rounded, they're never the champions, not for long.
See, like Magomed's like a 7 everywhere. It's like a 7 out of 10 everywhere. But I'm I'm probably a 7 most places, but I'm great at jiu-jitsu. and I'm great at, like, there's intangibles that people don't take into account for. Like I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of someone. Like Gaethje isn't the type of dude that, like, he's not really exceptional anywhere, but his intangibles as far as his toughness and his ability to break people is at a fucking level 10. So, like, sometimes I don't think people take that shit into account. Like, John Jones isn't great anywhere. He's really not. There's nowhere that he really stands out. He's pretty well rounded. What he's great at is systematically shutting people down. He neutralizes people. Like, he's great at that. If he neutralizes you, he can do whatever he wants. Like, if he takes your best part of your game away, if you, like, go back and look at the fight with John and I, like, he didn't outstrike me. He outkicked me a little bit and kept me on the outside, which neutralized my game. So it didn't give me the ability to strike. So he neutralized my striking. And then when we got on, like, in any kind of clinch or grappling situation, watch him. As soon as we hit the ground, if he wasn't in, like, a position he felt like he could punch safely, he backed out. He just neutralized my jiu-jitsu, never gave me a shot to even get into that grappling game with him.
So
That's
you
where
could say
he's
his
great.
fight IQ is exceptional.
It's exceptional,
Yeah.
100%. And I think that some of my intangibles are I think that's what's going to give Ankalaev some problems.
Yeah.
I match him everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think my jiu-jitsu and my finishing ability on the ground is significantly better.
Yeah.
But I think my pressure and just the mental and emotional pressure that I put on people, like, I think he's breakable, and
Yeah.
that's a problem.
Yeah. And that's that I, if you dig just a little bit under the hood, like, that is a tangible factor, and, like, I mean, actually, I don't even want to bring that up, but I mean, there's been fights recently where I think you just literally, you watched guys break in there. But yeah, man, I'm really excited, dude. I'm sitting real close to watch you guys. I don't know where you guys come out though. Like, because I've never been to the American Airlines. So it's like, when I go to a stadium where I know where they come out, I can get my seats based on that. But I have no idea where you guys enter on that one. Have you ever fought at American Airlines before?
No, never. I don't think I've ever fought in Texas. No, I haven't.
You guys fly in tomorrow, right?
Yep. Yeah, I fly in tomorrow night. Man, I'm fucking excited too.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. Typically, leading into a fight, I think probably lots of guys feel like this, where you're like, you start getting close, and you're like, oh man, like, I wish I had another week. You know what I mean? Like, you're just like if you're a perfectionist like I am, like, you're never gonna think like, oh, I could push my cardio harder. If I had another week, I could push it even harder. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I am. This time, for like, I don't know, over a week now, I'm like, fuck, I wish it was this weekend. Like, I'm just ready to go. I'm so ready to go.
That's exciting, dude.
Like, my coaches made me take the day off yesterday, and, like, it's driving me crazy.
Yeah.
It's driving me absolutely crazy. Like, I'm excited to go to practice here in, like, however long, I don't even know what time it is. Yeah, I gotta leave for practice in like 45 minutes. I'm, like, excited about it.
And it's like and you did your camp different this time, right?
I did, yeah. Yeah, so I did some of it with Weidman. I did a good chunk of it here. I did a week of it in Aruba. It's had a really good balance to it, but man, it's been the hardest training camp I've had in a really, really long time. It's been really, really tough. I've had to really focus on, like, the recovery side of it more, because I'm just training so much harder and just kind of running myself into the ground. So that's actually been I guess just an added thing. I'm just really focusing on the recovery part, because I'm just killing myself here.
Yeah.
It's been good
Yeah.
though. It's been so
I can't wait,
I'm
dude.
excited to show, like, I don't know, I just have this weird feeling that it's going to be like a breakout moment for me. Like, it's like I have the right opponent to where, like, there's no more denying it anymore. Like, you can say Ryan Spann was green and not ready to be at the highest level. You can say Jimmy Crute's still kind of young. You know, you can say Volkan Ozdemir was brought up too fast. You can say Gustafsson was on his way out. Like, same with Shogun. So, you know what I mean? Like, there's always something to say. You can always twist something into something that's not. Like, what the fuck are they going to say on Sunday now? Like,
dude, if
there's
you
nothing they can say.
Bury him too.
That's how I feel. I feel like it's not even going to be close.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's going to. I don't for a second. Maybe I'm fucking crazy. I don't know. But like, I don't even think it's going to be competitive.
Dude, and given that I know for 100% sure that I'm going to use this clip like as its own thing, I just want to make sure that I say this in this moment that tell the people how many of your wins came by stoppage.
All but 2. So that's
33 of
35,
35
33 of 35. Yeah.
by stoppage.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
And the last 3 in the first round.
And I don't think this time's going to be any different. I
Yeah.
don't. Like, and again, that's not me trashing Ankalaev. That is, I just don't think it's going to be close. I'm too fucking good right now. I'm too good. I'm too strong. My conditioning's I don't know how he beats me. He's not the knockout guy. He's not the guy that's out here sleeping everybody left and right. He's not the jiu-jitsu whiz. He's not the guy that's going out, taking you down, passing you a guard, going to mount and arm locking you. That's not his game. Like, and I've worked too hard to close the only hole that you could ever in the last 3 to 5 years that you could even call a hole in my game where you take me down and stall me out. I worked too hard. He's not Chris Weidman. He's not Tom Lane. He's not Scott Morton. He's not Jordan. Like, I've worked too hard to fix that. Like, it's just 2 of him couldn't hold me down for 3 rounds right now.
Yeah.
It's just not gonna happen. It's just not. And so I don't know how he beats me. I don't. As good as I am right now, as strong as I am, as good as my cardio is, I don't see a path to victory for Magomed Ankalaev.
Man. Well, I hope you don't win in too spectacular fashion. I might injure myself celebrating.
And I'm gonna jump over the cage. I'm gonna sit next to Dana White. I'm gonna ask Hunter Campbell to scoot over, and I'm gonna sit in between them. We're gonna figure this shit out right here, right now. Like, title shot. When are we going? And where do you want it?
Yep. You have a post fight speech prepped, or you're just gonna wing it?
I'm just gonna wing it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wing it. We'll see what happens.
If I think anything good, I'll text it to you. But just make sure you say this shit.
Yeah, make sure you say this.
Yeah.
No, I'll probably end up sounding like a goddamn idiot again, like I did when I went off on Span. Just that was winging it too. I didn't have any plan to say anything like that, but whatever, bro. Fuck
Dude,
it.
do what you got to do, and then we'll go grab a drink.
Fuck yeah. Shit, my birthday's tomorrow. What are you doing tomorrow?
I don't know.
We should have dinner. We should have
Working
dinner
in the
something.
jits. I'm not that close to where you guys are.
How far away are you?
Like 2.5 hours.
Is it really? Why
Yeah.
did I think it was closer? I thought Austin was closer than that.
No, it's like
Not
2.5.
Austin.
I checked it. I think I'm gonna have breakfast with you guys on Saturday though. That's what Danny said.
Perfect. That worked. I don't know why I thought Austin was closer than that.
Yeah.
Oh,
2.5, something like that. Like Austin is the same distance to Dallas as is to Houston, which is like everything's
okay,
like
that makes sense.
it's like far,
right in the
it's like
middle.
far. It's like not that far, but it's like far enough that it's
It's not close enough. You could just make a drive real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, bro.
All right, my man.
Well, shit, tell the
good
family I
luck.
said hi. We'll see you this
I will.
weekend.